Fasten your seatbelt and get ready for a crazy ride. It's time for the Live Wire Comedy Podcast with your hosts, Larry Lancaster, Ray Diva, Henry Jones, and DJ A-Rod.
So I got a couple of topics that we actually need to speak on. Did you see the when we going live? And we are here. Welcome to the Live Wire Podcast. You got your girl Ray Diva and the very funny and talented Mr. Larry Lancaster in the building.
What's up, Ray Dizzle?
Listen, what day is this of the quarantine? Like, I lose track. I don't even know that.
It's like 60 something.
Is it? Well, Maryland has eased some of the restrictions. Did you hear that today? Starting tomorrow.
So what is
you'll be able to go golfing. You'll be able to go play golf. You'll be able to play tennis, and they're opening up Ocean City.
So we going in reverse than Georgia.
So pretty much whatever white people like they can do.
Right. That's what it sounds like. Georgia went in the opposite. They opened up all the check cashing places.
Liquor stores.
They let motherfuckers wait in line for Jordans. Did you see that?
I saw that line for them Jordans. It was ridiculous.
First of all, where the fuck is you going that you need Jordans?
Right. And why are they releasing new Jordans in the pandemic? I didn't understand that.
We are so short-sighted, and I'm sick of everybody always, whenever you talk about the shit we do, white people doing this, white people doing. Come on, man. They don't give you license for the stupid shit we doing, and we always gonna bear more of the brunt of it for our decisions. I can't keep thinking they something to be equal to.
Well, I think like when I saw it, I said, okay, so this is why they're pumping money into the Black community, because we are the spenders. So we're going to take the money and we're going to help prop up the economy. Because that was the sign right there when you seen that line for them tennis shoes.
Look at it like this. If they open up a lot of these places, particularly a lot of the Black places, I think the governors are being strategic about it, because say like you had a salon down Georgia, right? Right. And you might say, you know what? I ain't opening my shit up. I don't care what the governor says.
Exactly.
But if you're able to open up, you might not be allowed to claim the unemployment and all the other shit, because now you're making a decision not to open up. It's not the state that's saying you can't do it. So the state bears the responsibility if they telling you can't open up monetarily. But if you decide as a personal decision you ain't doing it, or your workers decide they not coming to work, can they claim unemployment? Or do you have to let them go? See, that's the thing that you got to think about.
So with this whole COVID reason for the unemployment, just sheltering in place or having something, a fear of it, or maybe you don't feel well. Those are not reasons to not go back into work under that COVID act, I would think.
Oh, it's a reason to not go back to work, but your ass probably won't get paid for
it. So if you don't feel well, you need to go to work and spread the shit.
Because now, see, that's the thing. You don't know what the protocol is concerning that. So to me, it seemed like the governor was strategically saying, okay, let's open all this shit up. And then if people don't want to go, we ain't got to pay them. It ain't a strain on the state to pay for it.
Well, think about it, though. I don't know what it's like in Georgia, but in Maryland, when you do file the unemployment, because I read the whole site, you have 10 weeks not to look for work now. So prior to the COVID, the CARES Act, you had to start looking for work immediately. And if you didn't, that would disqualify you. If you didn't pretend, most time people not, always looking there. Yeah,
well,
I went to 70.
Of all, in the pandemic, how the fuck do you look for work? If
Exactly.
everything's closed?
Because the CARES Act also covered parents whose kids are out of school and they can't afford daycare and get proper daycare for them. They could collect the unemployment too under the CARES Act.
Right. Okay.
But even in that, you're right, it is strategic because considering the numbers, we Black people are definitely being affected and dying more of this disease than any rate. So at the end of the day, whatever white people are doing, they doing. But so if they feel like if it's only going to affect us, hey, go green light. Y'all can go back out.
Also, you got to look at the economic aspect of it. We're going to bear the brunt of that shit too.
Exactly.
Because when that stimulus package came out, those big corporations and those big companies got paid first. The mom and pop companies didn't get shit.
Exactly.
Chuck Schumer had to they tried to pass another bill. I don't know if it went through. It was like $300 billion for like the smaller businesses.
It passed and they actually got funded and they're actually out of money. The PPP and the SBA, that's all that stuff. For the second round, they're out of money as well.
Right.
And my thing was this, because I went to a couple of banks, to check it out. And my thing was, y'all specifically put under the guidelines, we want this money to go to minorities, women, and small business. And I fit all three. What the hell happened to the money? They said they ran out.
Because a lot of times you can have a major Fortune 500 company, but they might go by the number of your employees. So if you got a think tank and they have lobbyists that have access to the politicians, they can claim their small business because they might have an X amount of employees, but they really might, because of their capital and their access to the decision makers, it really might not be a small business. It's just like if they ever gave out reparations, right? Watch how many white people will come out and say they Black. Motherfuckers will always find a way around technicalities and loopholes when it benefits them.
Right. So they're a minority now. This whole pandemic is just slanted. It's like the scales of justice. Black people don't stand a chance with this crap. Seriously, and the fair part, it's like we're all, like the old saying goes, we're last to know and first to go. That's definitely the case with this situation going here. Did you see the article about how the police were treating people differently in the city? You saw that?
I've seen, especially in New York, I've seen like 2 or 3 videos with the police throwing people to the ground, punching them in the face, beating them up. And then you see the police in New York handing white people masks on the beach.
In the park, yeah. That weren't social distance. But you go and you beat up Black people for not social distancing, and you hand white people masks. That's the climate of the country. That's the unfortunate part about everything that happens when it's pertaining to people of color. People don't see all the other exterior things that are happening.
Because we keep going to white people, begging them to treat us nicely.
Exactly.
Make people treat you how you want to be treated. So, like I always say, you have to buy the politicians, and you have to laser-like focus with your economic power, and that's how you get shit done. Just asking people to be nice for the hell of it is not going to do it. You have to make them, and you have to figure out what it takes for them to feel that pain. And so if you put pressure on the politicians economically, as a race of people, like not respond just with anger, but respond collectively like the Jewish people do.
As a group and not standing in lines for the Jews.
You do something to one of them, you'd have done it to all of them. We don't respond like that. We only get mad collectively, but we don't respond collectively.
And it's crazy because we got like another force against us. We in a pandemic, but we're also experiencing intense racism that has actually heightened all over the country. I actually emailed the Georgia county that was responsible for the Ahmaud Arbery story, which I know you know about. Just because I felt compelled to like email them, and they actually emailed me back. Sharing with me how to get into email the proper people who are, because they transferred his case. But for our viewers that don't know, Larry, you want to tell them about Ahmaud Arbery?
Well, from my understanding, it was a young black man. He was jogging, and he ran through, I guess, a white neighborhood, and these two assholes followed him. Said they wanted to talk to him or whatever. He kept running, and from my understanding that it was a father and a son, and the dad was like ex-law enforcement, or he had some type of ties to the law enforcement community there.
Right.
And they shot him and killed him.
Right.
And as of yet, they haven't been charged or arrested.
They have not. But that just goes to show the level of no value to a black man's life in this country, that these two men could actually hunt this man down, because it's essentially that's what it was. If you looked at Ahmaud, he was a clean-cut black man. He had on running shorts. He had on running shoes. He looked like a jogger. For these two guys to say, oh, he looked like he just robbed their house, was complete and total bullshit. When you saw the video, Ahmaud actually tried to run around their pickup truck. They cut him off. The father got out, commenced to assaulting this young man. And when he tried to, defend himself and take the gun from pointing at him, his son from the back of the truck shoots this man dead 3 times. And they are claiming stand your ground. How is it following somebody to attack them and killing them standing your ground? But they use this, and he has not been charged yet. He is going before grand jury. They are going before grand jury. I believe it's tomorrow. However, this happened weeks ago.
And we didn't hear anything about it. And here's the problem with racism. It's not 2 white assholes. It's a system that backs them once they do some shit like this. A system that hasn't charged them. A system that hasn't arrested them. So it's almost like they deputizing white people to do this shit. The same thing they did with George Zimmerman. It's not enough that the police can do it. Now random ass white people feel like they can act as police and make citizens arrest and kill black people, and the system will co-sign for that shit.
And it's not about them being charged. That is a hate crime. So we don't want to see you just be charged for a murder, which y'all going to probably shoot it down to a 2nd degree assault or something like that. This falls under a hate crime, because clearly race was a factor in the decision making for them to follow him. Say he looked like a burglar, but he has nothing in his hand. Like, this is the climate that we live in, and it's in Georgia. These are the same people who just text the mayor on her personal number and said, "Nigga, shut up," and open the city.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't expect much more, but at this point, something has to be done.
Yeah, because I don't know how much they expect us to just sit and take this shit.
Exactly.
And then when we start doing the same shit, what's going to be the response then?
Oh, immediate and swift. You start killing up some white people. We start killing up some white people, and the National Guards and everybody else calls in.
Right.
The fact of the matter is that we do have to stand together as a people and let people know, listen, we know we got issues of our own, because the first thing that racists want to text and want to reply and want to tweet out is that we killing each other. That has nothing to do with y'all coming and violating us. These are 2 totally different spectrums of the law. You can't equate black on black crime and poverty with 2 white men chasing down a black man and murdering him in broad daylight.
Well, the difference is when Tavon kills Tavon, Tavon goes to jail.
Right.
But when Billy Ray kills Tavon, nothing fucking happens.
Exactly.
That's the difference. It's not that black on black crime isn't an issue. It's that when it's white on black crime, it's the justice system's response to the shit.
So it's so many questions about it because, you know, this story happened 2 weeks ago. But this video that the person that was riding behind them is just coming out like 2 to 3 days ago. So from some anonymous person, the way that rural area is set up, you're not telling me it's no way in hell that the father and the son could not have seen whoever was behind them videotaping. You saw the angle, right?
No, I haven't seen the video.
Well, they were pretty close.
I haven't watched it because just
it makes
you know how angry I get. So
right.
I have to sometimes I have to protect my own sanity and my own well-being from shit like this because you know, I get angry and who knows what my response might be. So sometimes you want to inform yourself of things and know what's going on, but sometimes you got to protect your own spirit and your own sanity with things.
Right, because I know after I watched the video, somewhere in my head I was thinking, I wish I could unsee this because it's so
once you see it, you can't unsee it.
With your soul, it really does. But the person who was videoing it was so close that you can see and hear everything that's happening. And I'm like, well, didn't they see this person behind them, or was their adrenaline pumping so much that they never paid attention to their surroundings?
Right. And it remains to be seen whether the person who videotaped it was in on the shit and maybe it accidentally got out or whatever, or the person knew, like, I better videotape this because if I don't, then they'll really get away with the shit. And that's the other thing is that even with videotaping, that's still no slam dunk because of the system co-signing. They'll try to act like that's not what you saw.
And you know what you saw. I just would like to see like 1 million black people just show up on the street and jog around these motherfucking houses for about five or 6 days, just scare the fuck out of these niggas. Because I just can't believe that we live in a day and time where a black man go jogging and this is the results.
But here's also what I say. You got we have people who are organized. You got gangs who organize for bullshit, who organize to terrorize their own communities. And they could organize and respond to this shit. Why not?
You about to get thrown off Facebook. Pause. You know that's hate talk in America right now.
I mean, it's just a question.
Yeah. I mean, it's about
and again, the black on black crime does have a certain issue in this because if we can direct that energy and anger towards each other, why can't we do that in the other way? You remember me saying this shit on stage. I'm like, no black man should harm another black man as long as George Zimmerman's still walking around doing whatever the fuck he wanted.
Freely, still making complaints and taking people.
Go have a conversation with him first, and if you're still mad, then you can come back and talk to me.
Right. He's still making the news. This man still has the ability to draw people in court. Like anything that he says, you know, should just be a grain of salt.
But again, it's kind of why these things will continue to happen to us because part of how you treat yourself does impact how other people will treat you.
Right. So it's so messy. It's so many grim things going on in the world because they also had the story out today about 3 Russian doctors committing suicide after testing positive for corona, which brought up the once again question: does coronavirus mess with your psyche. Because you know they just had the doctor here commit suicide in New York when she found when she tested positive. Her father said basically that her positive test and the disease drove her crazy.
Well, I think these people are probably under a tremendous amount of stress to begin with if they're on the front line and they're working in this. And then to see so many other people die and see what happens to other people and then to be on the other side of it, it could be something to that. And just because someone's a doctor, that doesn't mean they don't have mental illness to begin with either.
Exactly.
And you got to think about these are isolated numbers. Like, think about all the doctors and all the nurses in the world who are dealing with this pandemic. And the number of people who have committed suicide is very small.
Well,
not to minimize it, of course, but it's a very stressful job. And also you got to look at it even from, I'm not a doctor, but if coronavirus is one of those viruses that affects your breathing, I mean, your brain can't function if you're not getting proper oxygen to it. So that could be like to it too.
So that was being discussed as if though, psychosis is a part of this disease has turned to so many levels. Now they're saying it's 8 strands of it. It goes on and on and on. And it's like, we're never going to be, I feel like ultimately at some point, maybe 20, 30 years, but I don't really stand the end to this disease or this whole state that we're in for a couple of years, especially if y'all saying it's 8 strands and it can come back starting next winter.
So the problem with the disease is that it mimics parts of your body. It adapts to your body and it mimics your DNA. So the way a virus usually works is that it does the same thing every time it shows up. So then the body can get adjusted to it and eventually learn how to defeat it. With this virus, it doesn't do that. So this virus is very cunning and it's like a chameleon. And so even if they came up with a vaccine, unless the vaccine can evolve and mimic the DNA just as the virus does, it's gonna be something different by the time they come up with a fucking vaccine. It's not gonna work.
And that's what they were saying. It has mutated to another level, and that's why it's from when the first people in Wuhan claimed they got it or where they claim it came from, it has mutated into something else.
I mean, first of all, coronavirus is not new. It's been around for a minute.
Right.
And this is where all the conspiracy theories come from because, okay, what makes this shit so different than what it was before?
Right.
So I think it was something that was engineered and they took this shit and took all the properties of what, because you think about it, it has properties of HIV.
And they said your blood type can determine if you get it, suffer more severely. Now they're saying your blood type is determining how severe you suffer from.
Right. Well, whenever something is new or it's a newer version of it, they learn it on the fly. And sometimes it could be information, sometimes it could be misinformation. But the thing with this is the virus attaches itself to your DNA and it replicates it.
Right.
So when it's in your body, it buys itself time because your immune system doesn't attack it because it thinks it's part of the body that's supposed to be there.
But it's not. It's steady going deeper. So on another story, people in New York are mad at this funeral home because they had 4 U-Haul trucks with 50 bodies in them with no refrigerator. You see that story?
No, someone told me about it, and they said that it was and it's supposedly the guy's black. The funeral home,
they're black. It's
black guy, and but hospitals are doing the same shit.
Exactly. And my thing is the loved ones and the people who died actually showed up, to protest it or whatever. They had called the authorities and basically the city of New York gave them a small citation. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's not their fault. Y'all are dumping all these bodies onto this funeral home, and they said they called y'all to let y'all know that
they
they
gave
can
them a citation.
for yeah, they did. They gave them a citation for it was something small. It was nothing
and
that,
again, again, racism showing its ugly head. So what did those armed motherfuckers who stormed the goddamn state capitol and walked up in courthouses and shit, did they give them citations?
no, they did not get a citation. And one of the senators was actually talking about that. But back to the funeral home, I'm like, they couldn't handle it. It's really not their fault, because it wasn't until it hit the news that the city sent them refrigerated trucks when they said they had already called for them.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing. We have to start focusing on our politicians, particularly our black ones, because that's who controls law enforcement. Once you buy and pay for politicians, then they will control the law enforcement. Until we do that, we're going to always be in a fucking situation that, where are they right now? What are they talking about? Are they enraged? Are they angry? What about all those black legislators and councilmen and congressmen and senators? Where are they on this shit?
They lobbying. If that is that accurate, like, can they lobby? Can they be lobbying?
I'm sure they seeing the difference. What the fuck is de Blasio doing when this police are out here fucking beating the shit out of black people and not doing anything to white people doing the same goddamn thing?
Not a thing. And the picture is the proof. The video is the proof. Now it's like we living in a day and time where they really want to do some you gonna believe me or your lying eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, the videos be out and they still be telling us we didn't see what we seeing. That's crazy. Well, school is out for the rest of the year.
Which I already told you it would be.
I know. So a lot of parents, they headed up the year with these kids.
Well, if you tired of your own goddamn kid, if you're frustrated with your own goddamn kid,
you already know that can happen. Shit. You already know.
Imagine what the school teacher been dealing with all fucking year. The one you don't answer the phone when you see the 396 number on it and shit like that.
You know that's that city number. You know that ain't nobody but the school calling. I didn't ignore that number a couple of times.
Like I said, God moves in mysterious ways.
Yeah, but you know a lot of people
wasn't, and first shall be last.
They wasn't in touch with their kids, man. They weren't. So I'm riding up North Avenue, and I hate to make it local, but I seen a long line, and it was a food giveaway. Like they had some top chefs cooking food for the people. When I tell you this line probably had to be 4 blocks long, but what amazed me was it was white and black people in this line, and some of them people really didn't look like they was at home. I was like, why don't y'all save the food for the people who really need this shit?
Right.
But it was amazing to me that was how many people were. You gotta be, as a normal person of like you and I, we gotta really be on our last leg to go stand in the food line for some free food. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, the thing is, this has impacted so many people from so many different walks of life. Not everybody's gonna look destitute, right? These are newly destitute motherfuckers, which means they had a whole lot of practice at looking destitute. You know how when people first start getting high, they still functioning and shit. They still got the job. They ain't assed out yet. They ain't lost everything. You know? So not everybody's gonna look that way. Some people, they still maybe have a home. They still can wash themselves and bathe themselves, but they might not have any money coming in. Because to me, if you stand in the goddamn line risking corona, standing in the line to get something to eat just because you trying to get over, then More fucking power to you. You gonna have to talk to God about that.
You said talk to God about it, right? Yeah, man. It's a lot of crazy things. Life is just definitely not the same anymore at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, who you got? Brandy or Monica?
What a segue, Ray.
I didn't have one. I'm like, fuck Corona and the pandemic. Brandy or Monica?
But you gotta lighten it up a little bit. So is this the next battle? I thought it was supposed to be
That's
Eric.
the battle that you want to happen, but it hasn't been agreed to.
I thought the next one was supposed to be Erica and Jill Scott.
They saying Jill Scott saying is a no, but you never know. You get enough people calling for, because that would be a good one actually. Erica Badu and Jill Scott.
That's a great one. That goes down in history.
I would tune in to that one, and I would tune in to
I like both of them. You know what I mean? Both of them are amazing artists, like just simply amazing
in their own rights. Like, and I don't really like comparing them because
I don't like the competition aspect of it either, because I feel like sometimes the competition is unnecessary. I get the battle aspect of it because it's intriguing, but I would just enjoy listening to both of them, perform without trying to say who's better, because to me that doesn't matter.
They're greatest. They both got hits, but in the Brandy and Monica, I'm gonna ride with Monica on there. But I like Brandy. I really like Brandy.
I think Brandy is a sleeper, because she's one of those artists that you may not check for, but once you see her, I heard a lot of people who've seen her perform live was like she won them over. Like she's really so. And you got to understand too, this is certain age demographic. Like, we still kind of look at them as young girls. They grown ass women now, but I still, it's like looking at Brandy. Like I look at her like Lil Bow Wow and any of them other motherfuckers. Like, when I was grown, they was kids.
Well, shit, Brandy's 40 something now.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's 42.
You know they age and shit.
Yeah. You don't never keep
old enough that real age come out.
Right. You be like, they was 70.
I remember Brandy being like a child star, kind of. Like, she was a young, and I don't remember, because if she's 42, I'm 50. I guess it depends on when it was, The older you get, the less those years matter. Like, if you're 8 years older than somebody now, 50, and they 42, it's not that big a deal.
Well,
but if you 20 and
they were claiming that Brandy was only 2 or 3 years younger than Beyonce, so I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not.
But I know in the industry, a lot of them lie, so they seem like they're child prodigies, or to make themselves seem more impressive.
Right. Exactly. So Ja Rule is getting people to sign a petition because he wants to do him in 50. I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think I would be rooting for 50 on this. And I hate to say it, but I would.
Why would he want to battle somebody that went out of their way to fucking absolutely destroy you?
Exactly. Absolutely, because the straw that broke the camel's back is when 50 Cent bought all of the seats to his concert.
He bought like 300 tickets and put the shit on Groupon and he wouldn't let nobody fucking sit in those seats.
So Ja Rule had to do a whole show till all the front row empty.
Right. And then when you looked at it, it looked like nobody showed up to his shit.
I was like, yo, 50 is the most
like, who the fuck does that? And made sure he had people in place that wouldn't let nobody sit.
Yeah, pretty much. So he's pushing for it though. Like it's on the internet. He's on the internet all the time. He wants to battle 50.
That sounds like you clout chasing to me.
It does, because I'd rather see 50 and Floyd battle. And Floyd ain't even a rapper, but it would just seem like it would get so personal that it would be good.
Need to worry about that goddamn Fire Festival. That's what the fuck he should be focusing on.
That's over.
getting them people their goddamn money back.
He got found not guilty.
Because if you ever watched the documentary?
I did, and I also watched it on American Creed.
I think he got deep. I don't think he was responsible for it. You understand what I'm saying? But that's the thing when you attach your name to shit. You got to be careful.
Right.
So
So
happened to me. I'm gonna tell you. These people came to me, said they wanted to do a comedy show, and they were looking for comics to audition. And of course, because of who I am and my standing or whatever, they contacted me, used my relationship with the comics, and I called certain comics to audition or whatever, and they performed. The shit was recorded and everything, and they were supposed to get back with us and do like a documentary style of each comic, and they had all these different plans of how the shit was supposed to go down. Never heard back from these motherfuckers. And I'm still angry about that shit.
That happens all the time in this business. You just gotta watch people, certain things they say. Like we have to come like extraterrestrial or whatever. We gotta be able to think with a fifth and a sixth eye, because these people come and it's so slick and it seems so real. Then when it unfolds, it was a whole bag of bullshit.
Well, what's cool about it is, like they say, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. So now, anybody come to me with that shit, I'm betting them. It's like, I'm not gonna take your word for it. You're gonna have to fucking show me something before you use my name for me to to get the comments involved, because I take that personally.
Right. And because your name is attached to it, because people feel like because you are who you are, you giving them some legitimate certified stamp, relationships. And when it doesn't go right, you know what they're gonna say. They're gonna be talking about the promoter or the producer.
Right.
In somebody's house saying, yeah, Larry Lancaster set me up with that bullshit.
Right. But luckily for me, the comics understood what happened. And I met a lot of great comics, through the networking and stuff. So it really wasn't all for nothing. But I'm definitely more aware of shit like that from now on.
Right. Well, damn, time goes by so fast. We almost have to end it. But I did a commercial, and I wanted to relay it to our viewers so that they could be informed, just like I was informed. And it was a commercial on sex trafficking. They were saying it was a commercial on sex trafficking, but they were saying more so than sex trafficking, they have human trafficking now. So that when you went to the store, or went to certain stores or certain businesses, somebody that working there could be a slave. And they gave a number that you could call if you see this. So apparently you can identify what a slave look like.
So would that include everybody that works at Walmart?
And some McDonald's, Amazon.
They treat them motherfuckers like shit.
They slaves.
I could just any Walmart call that hotline number and be like, or Amazon and shit.
I see some slavery going on. At least, I will say this: for all of the evil that Amazon they say is responsible for, at least they paying people. Walmart's still handing out minimum wage, which is what, $12 an hour.
I saw a documentary on Walmart, and it was like they was the devil.
They were disgusting too. How they got filthy rich, and they didn't care about nobody in their past.
I mean, they had the documentary was saying that they had even environmental. They even violated environmental rights. It was everything from racism to bad wages, bad working conditions. Even the Walmarts overseas, they had people living in like hostels, and they would take money out of their check for them to live in these raggedy ass hostels. It's just amazing, like all the shit they've done. How they put a lot of the mom and pop places out of business. How it's a drain on, because it's like when the super Walmarts, when they come, it's like a city. The resources that it takes to run it, and what a drain it is on the surrounding neighborhoods.
Because nobody compete. I went to the Walmart in North Carolina, which they do mortgages and sell cars out of Walmart. Who can compete with those prices?
And then the other thing was they was talking about all the crime that happens at a Walmart.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They said the rapes go up, assaults, muggings, all kind of stuff. And they said Walmart doesn't really pay to have their patrons protected. They had a security guy, and he stopped somebody from getting robbed, and they fired him. They say they lean on the workers when they try to
intervene
and organize and shit. They single them out and fire them, all kind of stuff. But oh well.
Well, you know, when you talk about crime, it transfers from Walmart to Wally World. It's a difference.
So
Wally World is where the crime happens.
Where the fuck Wally World?
Wally World is Walmart.
That's what you call it?
That's what it is. It's Wally World. When people start, you know, committing the crimes and stealing and shooting videos and going in there with Daisy Dukes and thongs on and twerking, that's Wally World.
Yeah, a lot of shit happens at Walmart.
A lot of shit.
And during this pandemic, that's the new club. Walmart's be lit in the motherfucker.
Don't think all of them. All of them, you gotta wait in line to get in there. They gotta bounce at the door. Right. You're right. That's the new club. Exactly. Well, we gotta go. It's been real with you, Mr. Larry Lancaster.
All right, I'm gonna tell all three of our listeners.
But listen, I was so proud of us last week because we had viewers. I was like, okay.
So listen, make sure y'all tune in to Throwback Saturdays with Larry Lancaster. This is every Saturday.
Every Saturday. I can't wait till the pandemic over so I can get back in there with you.
Yeah, we miss your energy, man. We gotta have you call in though, because that was good when you called in.
I know, so fun.
Can I do my shout out, Ray, without you interrupting though?
Oh, because you do too much.
Every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, WEAA 88.9. It's Throwback Saturdays with Mike Nice and my girl Ray D, because you're always a part of the shit, shorty.
I know. Well, I'll be on tomorrow with Talent and Melissa Morgan on Vimo. That's about all I can tell you.
Oh, that's gonna be tough, yo.
It's gonna be lit, right?
Yeah.
And then Friday night we got a show cooking up with the comics Friday night. I mean,
Ray, you stay working, yo. God damn.
I'm trying to get this online Zoom money at this point.
Yeah, I'm hosting a 50th birthday party tomorrow.
Are you online?
Yeah, it's virtual. So
will it be open to the public? Is it on Zoom or will it be open to the public?
I mean, it's only for the guests because you got to keep that link. So it's just for the people who are invited on the link. But remember, I did one about 2 weeks ago. Another virtual party. So that's a new lane for me, baby. It's adapter over and
that's
over.
That's a new lane for all of us. Like seriously, we are stepping into some new territory in this business.
Evolve or die.
Evolve or die. All right. Well, thanks y'all for listening and watching WPB Radio Live Wired podcast, and tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m.
All right, shorty. Peace out. Bye, Henry. Hey, bro. They probably somewhere watching this shit.
Your credit card debt driving you batty?
We're going up! Just like your credit card fees and interest rates.
Always fear, the debt suckers are here.
One call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your back. Consolidated Credit will lower your interest rates, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and get you out of debt fast. Call Consolidated Credit and get your life back.
Call 800-701-7443. 800-701-7443.
know,